CZ just broke his silence on exchange listing fees, and what he said changes everything we thought we knew about why Kaspa still isn't on Binance. The truth, it's not what you think, and if you're holding KAS right now, you need to hear this before the next pump. What's up, crypto fam? Welcome back to the channel. If you've been following the Kaspa story like I have, today's video is going to blow your mind. We're diving deep into CZ's recent bombshell about exchange listings, and trust me, this explains so much. Before we get into it, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications because we're covering the hottest crypto stories every single day. Alright, let's get into it. So Kaspa has been absolutely killing it lately. We're talking about one of the fastest proof-of-work networks in existence, a community that's growing like wildfire, and a price that's been holding strong even when the broader market looks like a dumpster fire. Smart contracts are coming, the technology is solid, and yet there's this one massive question that nobody can answer. Why in the world isn't Kaspa listed on Binance? Now, I know what you're thinking. Maybe Binance just hasn't noticed. Maybe they're waiting for the right moment. Or maybe, just maybe, there's something deeper going on behind the scenes. And thanks to a recent Twitter thread that went absolutely viral, we finally have some answers straight from the man himself, Changpeng Zhao. Here's where things get interesting. A developer named CJ recently posted on X about what he claims was Binance's actual listing offer to his project. And folks, the numbers are insane. We're talking more than 1% of the total supply dropped on day one. Additional airdrops within 6 months, a security deposit of $250,000, and get this, $2 million in BNB just sitting there as collateral. According to CJ's post, this isn't some backdoor deal or rumor. This is supposedly what Binance actually asks for when they're considering a listing. Now, is every project getting the same deal? Probably not. But the fact that these numbers are even floating around tells you something about the game we're playing here. Jesse Pollock from Coinbase jumps into the thread and says listing fees should be 0% for builders. Bold statement. I respect it. But that comment is what finally drags CZ into the conversation, and what he said next is where everything clicks into place. CZ drops a thread that basically reads like a masterclass in how exchanges actually operate, and honestly, it's refreshing. According to CZ's post on October 15, 2025, if your project is complaining about listing fees or airdrops, his advice is simple: don't pay it. If your project is strong, exchanges will race to list your coin. Now, let me break down what CZ is really saying here, because this is important. He's essentially telling developers that if you have to beg an exchange to list you, you're not ready. Harsh? Maybe, but it's also brutally honest. Strong projects don't need to pay their way onto exchanges. Demand does the work for them. CZ then outlines 3 different listing models that exchanges use. First model, list everything and charge fees. It's a business model, plain and simple. Some exchanges operate like this and there's no shame in it. They're running a service, and services cost money. Second model, selective listings, with airdrops or security deposits. According to CZ, this model exists to protect users from scams and rug pulls. Think about it. If a project has to put up $2 million in BNB, they're not going to dump their tokens and disappear overnight. It's insurance for retail investors who have been burned one too many times. The third model is actually a mix of both. Some exchanges, they apply different standards depending on whether it's spot trading, futures, or even other services. Now Binance already offers Kaspa futures, but that doesn't automatically mean there's going to be a spot listing. Futures are really just for speculation, while spot listings are all about legitimacy. And here's where CZ really drives the point home. Nobody is forcing anyone to accept these models, right? If you don't like the requirements, there are decentralized options out there. PancakeSwap exists. Uniswap exists. You honestly don't need Binance's permission to trade your token. So, what does all of this mean for Kaspa? Well, let's connect the dots here. Kaspa was fair launched. No pre-mine, no venture capital, no early insider allocations. It's honestly one of the most honest launches we've seen in years, and the community absolutely loves it for that reason. But here's the problem. Fair launches mean no war chest. If Binance is asking for millions of dollars in deposits and airdrops, where is Kaspa supposed to get that? So, they didn't raise money from venture capitalists. They didn't do a token sale. The developers are just building on community support and passion, which honestly is amazing for decentralization, but pretty terrible when it comes to negotiating with centralized exchanges. In my opinion, this is both Kaspa's greatest strength and, yeah, its biggest weakness. The crypto space is full of venture-backed projects that can afford to throw money at exchanges for listings. They have the resources to meet whatever demands Binance puts on the table. Kaspa doesn't, and honestly, I respect that. But, it also means the path to a Binance listing is going to be a lot harder. Now, let's talk about the technical side because this really matters too. Kaspa runs on blockDAG, which is a completely different architecture from your typical blockchain. It's not Ethereum, it's not Bitcoin, it's its own thing. And while that's incredible for scalability and speed, it also means Binance has to do extra work to integrate it. Exchanges definitely prefer networks that plug into their existing infrastructure. The easier it is to add, the faster it gets listed. Kaspa's unique design might require custom integration work, and that takes time, resources, and, developer attention. Binance is juggling hundreds of tokens. If one requires significantly more effort than the others, it's going to get pushed down the priority list. According to CZ's framework, strong projects don't need to beg. But, strength isn't just about having a loyal community. It's about having undeniable market demand that exchanges just can't afford to ignore. Kaspa is getting there, but it's not quite at the level where Binance feels like they're missing out by not listing it. And here's my take on this whole situation. I think Kaspa is playing the long game, whether they realize it or not. They're not rushing to meet exchange demands or compromising their values for a quick listing. They're building technology growing organically and letting the fundamentals speak for themselves. That's rare in crypto, and honestly, it's exactly what we need more of. But I'm also realistic. In this market, perception matters, listings matter, liquidity matters. Kaspa might have the best technology in the world, but if it's not accessible on the exchanges where most people trade, it's going to struggle to reach its full potential. It's a catch-22, and there's no easy answer. The good news? Kaspa futures are already available on Binance. That means there's some level of institutional interest. Traders can speculate on the price without needing spot access. It's not ideal, but it's something. And if demand for Kaspa futures continues to grow, Binance might eventually decide that a spot listing makes financial sense. So where does that leave us? In my opinion, Kaspa is at a crossroads. They can either wait for Binance to come to them, or they can find alternative ways to grow liquidity and accessibility. Neither path is wrong, but both come with trade-offs. What I do know is this: CZ's comments give us a much clearer picture of why this listing hasn't happened yet. It's not some conspiracy. It's not Binance playing favorites. It's just the reality of how centralized exchanges operate in 2025. They have criteria, they have standards, and projects need to meet them if they want that stamp of approval. Alright fam, that's the real story behind why Kaspa isn't on Binance yet. What do you think? Is Kaspa doing the right thing by staying true to their values, or should they be more aggressive in pursuing exchange listings? Drop your thoughts in the comments because I love hearing from you guys. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure you check out my other videos on Kaspa and the latest crypto market updates. There's a ton of content on the channel that'll keep you ahead of the curve. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload. I'll see you in the next one. Stay sharp, stay informed, and as always, stay profitable. Quick reminder: nothing in this video is financial advice. Cryptocurrency is extremely high risk. You can lose everything you invest. Always do your own research. Never invest more than you can afford to lose. And consult with a financial advisor before making any investment decisions. Trade safe out there.